Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to 60 Minutes. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the American story and what Americans fear most. First on the show is going to be the Smet student, Jacob Couch.
What would you say your version of the American story is?
My idea of the American story is that no matter what you want to do or achieve, you can. I think that if you really want something in America, you can get it with hard work. In order to achieve success in your goals, you can't always worry about what others think and have to be prepared to fail before you can succeed. Throughout history, the noble savage has always done better than the noble savage. In order to be successful in this world, you can't always be the nice guy and have to be willing to be selfish in order to get what you want. The noble savage will do whatever it takes to get what he wants, even if it's at the expense of others. In business, if you're the boss who is too nice to fire anyone, your company will fail and you won't be successful. But if you're willing to do whatever it takes to be the best, then you can, and you will achieve anything in America.
So today we're lucky enough to have Ralph Emerson on our show. How are you doing today, Ralph?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming on today.
Anytime.
So would you like to give us a little bit of a further explanation on your theories such as the American story and nature?
Yeah, of course. I agree with your version of the American story, and you can't be a coward and still get what you want. I once said in my book, Self-Reliance, God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. What I meant by that is that you won't be able to get whatever you want if you're too scared to take risk. There are plenty of cowards who are able to survive, but only under the guidance of others. In order to be a shepherd, you can't have the mind of a sheep. In order to be successful in this world, you have to do what others won't. Another quote from my book is, "A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds." This means that only small minds would worry about seeming consistent, but greater minds just follow whatever they think at any given time. So I do agree with your version of the American story and agree that working hard and doing what others won't will make you successful in this world. The next topic on the show that we're going to talk about is what do Americans fear more than anything else, and what protective mechanisms do they use to ward off this fear?
So today we are fortunate to have Anton Chigurh on the show. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, what would you say your opinion is of what Americans fear more than anything else?
In my opinion, Americans fear the most is not being successful. A lot of people want success, but they're not willing to do whatever it takes. So, in my opinion, I think that the things that Americans fear the most is not being successful.
Now, what protective mechanism do these American males use to ward off this fear?
A lot of people are scared to do whatever it takes, but in my opinion, in order to be successful, you have to do whatever it takes. And I've had to do a lot of things that I wish I didn't have to do in order to be successful. And if somebody takes money from me, I'm going to get that money back, whether it's life or death, because that's what I have to do in order to be successful. I can't just let people take stuff from me and think that I'll still be successful, because cowards aren't successful, and you're going to have to do whatever it takes, whether that means killing somebody or hurting somebody or stealing from somebody. If you want to be successful, you can't always be nice.
Now we're lucky enough to have on Pat from Huck Finn, and he's going to discuss some of the same things that we just talked about with Anton, what Americans fear most and what they will do to avoid this fear.
In my opinion, I think that Americans fear not being successful the most. In my personal experiences, I was killed playing in a poker game because I got caught cheating. I was willing to do whatever it took to be successful, whether that was taking the risk of dying or not. I ended up dying because I was cheating, but it was willing to take the risk because I could have been successful.
Now on the show, we're lucky to have Joseph Heller, the author of Catch-22, to discuss his opinions of what Americans fear most and what protective mechanism they will do to ward off this fear.
Thanks for having me on. So in my book, Catch-22, I wrote a lot about how a lot of people want to be successful, and the biggest fear that they have is not being successful. One of my quotes was, "He was going to live forever or die in the attempt." This means that he was either going to be successful and live forever, or he was going to die in the attempt. He was going to risk everything and do whatever it took to be successful, whether that meant dying or not. I think a lot of Americans fear not being successful, and they would do anything they can to be successful. And the people that aren't successful are the people that aren't willing to take risks and are scared to be successful. Because in my opinion, anybody can be successful in America if they're willing to take risks and do what other people won't. That'll wrap up this week's episode of 60 Minutes. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching the opinions of different people on their American stories and what they think Americans fear most. Thanks for watching.